now, what's the most prevalent thing that's going on in the world is the Derek Chauvin case, the officer that killed brother George Floyd, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really been keeping up with the trial on a day-to-day basis, but I'm understanding that they're showing the footage every day, and people are really getting a chance to see the footage from the police cam. So it's like you seeing different angles and things like that.
Yes.
And then we know that a couple of weeks ago, the family was awarded $27 million on behalf of George Floyd. And my
Mm-hmm.
thing was, okay, it's always good to, to have the people pay the family for their loss. But my thing is like the police do that because they're gearing up to not convict this guy. They paid the family to be able to say, look, we paid you. We're not going to hold this police officer accountable. What you think? How you feel like it's going to play out? What's your feelings on everything that's going on right now?
Well, to be honest with you, I think you hit the nail on the head. So you pay the family off and then let him go. So they quote unquote, I guess both parties supposed to be winning, but no money could ever bring back George Floyd. No
That's
money could
correct.
ever do that. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I honestly do feel like they're gonna let the man go. But if you paying off a family for $27 million, then that means that man was in the wrong. He was guilty.
Exactly. See, now that's
Period.
the thing.
Yeah.
Because if I don't believe he's guilty, then I'm not gonna pay 27 million.
You're not gonna
So it's
cash
like, how
up.
can you pay? Yeah, that don't even make sense. So my thing is like, how does the Justice Department really work? You're saying he was wrong because you're paying such a lump sum, but does that mean since you paid, he don't got to go to jail now? It's like it's kind of crazy, man.
Right. But I guess when they do, did they sue him or something and they settled?
I really don't know where the cash came from or why the family got the money. I don't know if it's a lawsuit or what,
Mm-hmm.
but it just seems like we never get a conviction. It's almost like down there, is it Minneapolis where it's at? It's almost like I see them boarding things up. It's all these barricades and all these police officers. They're rather prepare for the aftermath rather than just do what's right. They'd rather say this officer's not guilty and deal with all the shit that's gonna happen, as opposed to just saying, you know what, we gotta charge this man because he did the wrong thing.
I guess they riding with each other.
That's right.
They
That's right.
riding with each other. It's almost like it's just like a game. Your partner do something, you don't snitch. He go to court.
You don't say nothing.
You don't say nothing. Hopefully he get found not guilty, and then there you have it. I guess the money is supposed to be the hush money for the family, so they don't,
Uh,
put up a. But it's so funny to me right now too, because speaking of George Floyd, you see what's going on with a lot of some of the other family members of like the some of the young black victims, like Tamira Rice's mom. They are basically
yeah.
saying that they don't want Black Lives Matter even using their kid's name because you're going around the city parading, starting up, you creating awareness of what's actually going on out here, but you collecting all this money and none of the money is going to the family.
That's a fact.
And you're using the victim's name, you're using the victim's photos, you're just using the victims in general to get whatever you're gonna get, and the family's not getting nothing out of it, and then, so you got a lot of the
Yeah.
family that's not going for it now.
And it makes sense, man. How would you feel? If it's this organization kicking up all this dust and raising all this money, but y'all not helping the actual family out. It seems a little, to me, honestly, and it's like, I'm not going to point no fingers at Tamika Mallory and none of these people, because these people are getting publicity, they doing interviews and all that. But when I saw Tamika Mallory at the Grammys performing with
Uh-huh.
Lil Baby, it
Uh-huh.
was like, okay, it's like, come on, man. Like, I understand the message that you're trying to push, but come on, that's a little too far for me.
What why did you feel that was too far?
I just feel like as a politician, we understand that she's vocal and social media has changed a lot, but I don't need to see you performing with Little Baby on the Grammys. That's not your job. If your voice is on the track, cool. But it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, why are you at the Grammys performing? It don't make sense to me.
I mean, I get where you coming from. I guess for me, it's almost like I feel like in today's time in 2021, because hip hop is so powerful, that is one of the angles that you got to touch. You know what I'm saying?
I see
Like
what you're saying.
I feel that way. Like if you want to get at the youth, bro, the youth is listening to Lil Baby. They
I see
listening
what
to
you're saying.
Shiesty.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
listening to all the other young artists that's out here. So how else do you get? How else do you connect to them? I guess we so used to having seeing or seeing the poor righteous teacher to the point where when we see somebody like an activist that's standing up for us, it looks weird when they have money
yeah.
or when they get money or when they You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
But
That's
you
real.
know, it's a fine line between just taking advantage of in a negative way versus really, you know, standing up for what you standing up for, especially if you on the at the Grammys performing with somebody. So it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of hard to
I still
say,
feel
man.
that.
But I ain't, you know, I didn't take it no type of way, only because of the subject matter in the song. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's why, because that he performed the bigger picture, which was
mhm.
about all of that stuff that Tamika Mallory be trying to fight for, her and Mysonne. So, you know, I ain't really
Right.
take it no way.
You're right, and that's a good point. Saying like, hey, the youth is tapped in with Lil Baby. So if you want to reach the youth, you need to go to Lil Baby. That make
Exactly.
perfect sense.
Because
That
if
make,
Farrakhan came on there and said a speech in the middle of his song, it wouldn't be bad. Would you take it that way?
no, I wouldn't. You're right. You're right. 100%. If
You know
if
what I'm
Dead
saying?
Electronica was performing and he bought out Farrakhan, it'd be like, oh, this shit is crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah, you feel
saying?
me? I
Yeah,
guess he might not look at Tamika Mallory in those regards, you know. So I don't
exactly.
know.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm
That
saying?
makes sense. That
That's
makes
how,
sense, man.
right. Did you get a vaccine?
Man, hell no. Hell to the no. Man, there's so many studies as to like, and I'm not, let me say this, man. Like, I'm not gonna doubt nobody or fault nobody for getting the vaccine. You know, to each his own. Certain people feel certain type of ways. But what I've been noticing is that our grandparents' generation,
Yes. They
they
believe.
have no reservations. They don't have no reservations about getting the shot. They like sign me up, give me the shot immediately. And
Yes.
I'm thinking like, why don't they have any reservation? Like we know our history and all that, right? So we don't trust the government. It's just
Right.
tricky. Mark of the beast. It's so many things, the population control, all this shit. And
Correct.
the older folks of that generation is like, shit, sign me up. Where can I get it at?
This is correct. Yeah, I
It's
feel
kind
like
of crazy.
it goes based on their generation and how they grew up. So they grew up believing most of the stuff on TV.
See, that's the point.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They grew up believing that, bro. We don't, when we came along, we was like, wait a minute, hold on. We was
Yeah.
able to step back and see something don't sound right or something don't seem right. And then the internet come. So now we have access to whatever type of information we got access to. We can
That's
look
real.
up anything.
Mhm.
So us, we like, nah, this don't sound right because we got access to more information than what they got, and
Ah,
then to what they ever had. So for
exactly.
us, we going back, looking at history, looking at the Tuskegee experiment, we
Yeah.
looking at a lot of shit, and we like, nah, we not trusting that.
But they're not even in touch with the internet. So they can't even go do all of that. Their minds are not even working like that.
Right, exactly. But you do have some that's in touch. That's like, hell no, I ain't taking that. I don't know what they put in that.
Yeah, exactly. Some of them, but the
Some
majority,
of them.
the older folks is like, man, sign me up. Where can I get my shot at?
That's a fact. My grandfather already got his.
Hey, both of my grandparents got it. They
Yeah.
they not even tripping. Like I feel fine. And it's like, and my thing is like, older folks pre-existing conditions, it's safer. It's the coronavirus is a lot more deadlier for them. So I can understand them saying, hey, I don't want to play with it. I'm not taking no chances. But the facts that they don't have, that they don't question anything. It's almost like they just like, it don't matter. They said it's gonna be good for you. Don't worry about it. I'm taking it. It's kind of crazy, man.
It just shows the amount of control that the government been having. They can flash them on a TV all day long to get you to believe it, and
Yeah,
then they can feed you whatever they want to feed you after you fell into the trap. They can do whatever.
exactly. That's real talk, man.
For real. Man, I'm skeptical on that vaccine. No, I'm cool.
You think they're gonna start requiring it? You think it's gonna be like, if you want to fly airplane, if you want to fly, you gotta have your vaccine.
Of course, they're gonna find a way to make us take it. All they gonna force you. They're gonna say you don't have to take it, but if you want to go to work, you
You
got
gotta,
to take it. If your kids want to check back in school, they
you
got
gotta.
to take it.
Ooh, that's
That's how they
crazy.
gonna get you.
That's diabolical, man. That's crazy.
That's a control thing, bro. Now the question is, it's not like I don't believe the corona is real, but I don't know what's in that vaccine.
Exactly.
This just came too sudden for me, so it's like, what y'all got going on, man?
Yeah.
That
And for
don't
this
sound
to be
right.
like, we need to make sure the inner city get it first. And it's just like, I don't believe that I'm getting the same vaccine that LeBron James is getting. I don't believe we got the same access to the vaccines that the folks at the top got. And it's like, we got so many different companies, it's like 3 different companies producing it. Johnson and Johnson, you only need 1 shot. The Moderna, you need 2 shots and all this shit. It's like, hold on, man. It's it's too much for me. And then we know biologically, black folks and white folks are not even the same. Like we're I think biologically we two different species. We don't even have the same. Our DNA don't even look the same. So the fact that I just don't feel like we all taking the same stuff. I'm just too skeptical, bro. I can't do it. I can't do it.
What if they require you to take it to get to go back into the KJLH office? Then what? Next question.